Hey guys, Sarah Wyngaard, U.S. immigration attorney and owner of 3A Immigration Services. Alrighty, so today I want to talk to you about one of my absolute favorite visas into the United States, and that is the E-2 investor visa. Now, I am going to say this right up front. As an entrepreneur myself, I absolutely love the idea behind this visa. I love the idea of people just going for it. I mean, a fresh start in a new country, opening or buying a business where you are literally betting on yourself. So if you're smart, prepared, and willing to hustle, that's a smart bet. I mean, those are three things that you have control over. So personally, in situations like that, I'll bet on myself all day long. I mean, the upside is huge. For all the problems in the US right now, or maybe a better way to say it is the challenges the country is facing right now, it remains a heck of a good place to open a business and to make a lot of money. Okay, I will also say this. If someone isn't quite as confident in their abilities to start and run a business completely from scratch, maybe you don't have the experience, then franchises can be a really great option for E2 investors. I mean, you likely don't have the same upside or profit potential as a custom-made business, but it's much more turnkey, right? I mean, the systems are in place, the branding is established, and the learning curve is often much easier. They often actually have mentorship programs as well. And I will also add this. I live in Ireland and I read the Irish Times every day. People sometimes underestimate how profitable franchises can be. Just the other day, the paper reported that McDonald's in Grafton Street in Dublin had pre-tax profits of over $5 million in a single year. So while franchises are more structured and may offer less upside than a fully custom business, in the right location and with the right operator, they can still be extremely successful. Okay, so the E-2 visa. The E-2 visa is for citizens of treaty countries who want to come to the US to start or purchase a business and actively run it. Now, what makes this visa so unique is that it gives you control. You're not tied to an employer. You're building your own company under your own ownership with your own long-term vision. And one of the biggest misconceptions I hear is that you need hundreds of thousands of dollars to qualify. That's simply not true. There's actually no fixed minimum investment amount in the law. What matters is that the investment is substantial for the type of business, whether your funds are truly at risk, and whether the business is real operating and capable of growth. Now, another major advantage of the E-2 visa is speed. These visas are issued really fast compared to other types of US immigration options. Now, in a lot of cases, once a business is ready and the application is filed, you can move from approval to entering the US in a matter of weeks, not years. So now let me share two real E-2 approvals from our firm that show how flexible and powerful this visa can be. Okay, so one of our most recent approvals involved a woman originally from Afghanistan who had recently obtained Dutch citizenship. Now she was likely in her mid to late 30s, right? So she grew up in a place that was objectively very difficult for women. And I will say this, she was one of the most impressive clients I've ever worked with. I mean, she was confident, she was educated in a place that presented challenges, right? She carried herself with just a strength, and she had the courage to move to an entirely new country and to bet on herself and build a better future for both herself and her kids. Now, in this situation, her motivation for moving to the US was deeply personal, right? She wanted to be close to relatives who could help her raise her kids while she built a more stable life here in the United States. And it was a true startup, right? She had never owned a restaurant before, but she deeply understood Afghan food culture and cuisine. She also had a strong history as a successful businesswoman in other ventures. She had confidence, that gave her confidence. And she had a full family support system in the United States, kind of ready to help her with operations as much as she needed in the United States. Now, in this situation, her total investment was, I don't know, maybe 70,000 US, right? Covering kind of commercial lease, kitchen build out, equipment inventory, and startup costs. We carefully at 3A Immigration document every dollar. We build a strong business plan with job creation and structure the case properly. Now, her E-2 visa was approved. And so she's now moving forward with both her business and her family life in the United States, and I think she's quite happy. Now, that case is a perfect example of what this visa can make possible. Now, a second case I'd like to talk about is completely different for E-2 strategy. This was a carpentry business with two equal partners, right? One investor was Brazilian, and he also had UK citizenship, and another one was also Brazilian, but had Italian citizenship. And together, they each owned 50% of the same US company. So in this situation, instead of starting from scratch, they purchased an existing US carpentry business. Now, both partners already had hands-on experience as carpenters. The Brazilian investor with UK citizenship, I think it was about $65,000 he invested, the same amount from his counterpart as well. Now, we documented the purchase of the business, their equipment, their operating agreement, their management roles, and their expansion plans as well. The US is always worried about your ability to create jobs, and so we focus on that a lot. Now, each partner independently qualified for E-2 status based upon their own treaty citizenship, and both were approved. Now, I bring up this case because I'm asked all the time, and yes, two equal 50-50 partners can equally qualify for E-2 visas through the same company, even if they rely upon different treaty nationalities. The structure just has to be done correctly. Okay, so another powerful feature of the E-2 is that most people, they don't realize that the same treaty nationality can also be used for essential workers from your home country. So once your E-2 business is operating, you may be able to bring in managers, supervisors, specialized employees who share your nationality. So for many of our clients, this becomes an incredible way to build a trusted team from their home country and scale faster in the United States. Okay, so what are the core E-2 requirements? Now, first up, you must be a citizen of a treaty country. Dual citizenship often plays a crucial role in these cases, as you can see from our examples. Second, you must make a substantial investment that is already at risk. So the money must be spent or irrevocably committed before you apply, as the attorneys say. Next up, third, business must be a real operating commercial enterprise. This is not like a maybe someday business. When you walk into your consular interview, you should be able to say, you know what, all you got to do is grant me this visa and I'm on the plane tomorrow. I'm ready to hit the ground running the moment I touch down in the United States. So your lease should be signed, your equipment ordered or delivered, your bank accounts set up. Everything should clearly show that the business is ready to operate immediately. Fourth, the business cannot be marginal. It has to have a real capacity to grow and create US jobs. This isn't just like entrepreneur visas in another country, it's about job creation. If you get this visa, you're going to receive a lot from the United States. I mean, the US is an incredible place to build wealth and opportunity, and in return, the government wants to see that you're giving something back. They want to see that you're creating jobs and contributing to the economy. They want to see that your business is bigger than just you. So at 3A Immigration Law, we focus heavily on strategy. Not every business qualifies. Not every investment structure is going to work. And the way you build your case, from ownership percentages to nationality analysis to business plans and kind of source of funds documentation, that really determines your chance of approval. Now, E-2 visas are typically issued for up to 5 years. It does depend upon the nationality, and they can be renewed indefinitely as long as the business continues to operate and meet kind of the legal requirements. Now, for E-2s, your spouse can obtain work authorization. That's actually huge with this type of visa, and your kids can attend schools in the United States as well. So if you're an entrepreneur, an investor, or a business owner who has never thought about relocating to the United States, or maybe you're just thinking about it now, the E-2 visa might be one of the most powerful and flexible immigration options available to you, and one of the fastest. So this is Sarah Wyngaard from 3A Immigration Law, and we'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching.